Welcome back. Sun City, one of South Africa's biggest tourist destinations, will reopen this week. This comes after 5 months of closure due to coronavirus lockdown restrictions. Our reporter, Ropiwa Madzena, is there and we're jealous. Tell us what's happening around you, Ropiwa.
So right now, Anli, we are at the Pilanesberg Game Reserve, and I'm feeling rather emotional because I've got my most favorite animal having lunch, or a late lunch, right behind me, and that is the bull elephant, as it's being called. So what's happening here is that next week, Wednesday, Sun City is going to be reopened after 150 days of being closed. In fact, earlier on, one of the general managers mentioned that for 40 years, the resort has been open 365 days, 7 days a week, and then on the 27th of March, you'll remember, many industries, and especially the tourism industry, were dealt a huge blow when a hard lockdown was introduced in the country.
It's such a special moment seeing that bull elephant behind you. Obviously, no protocols expected from him. But what are visitors to Sun City and its surrounding facilities going to be expected to do?
So the team here at Sun City has transformed the resort quite substantially to follow through with the COVID-19 regulations. When you get to the gate already, there is a screening, there is sanitization that happens. The people there make sure that you're wearing your mask, as well as you maintain the social distancing. And when you get in again, your details are taken, and you are taken through the health protocols, and there's sanitizing everywhere that happens, and everyone is watching everyone. And then also when you're going through the different amenities, for the swimming pool, for example, they only allow a certain amount of people for a certain amount of time, and then you are removed, and then the pool seats are sanitized, and then the next group of people are let in. And also in the bedrooms, they've removed a lot of touch amenities in the room so that people aren't touching or handling a lot of things with their hands, and also people are given the choice to have their rooms clean or to have their linen changed. But here's more from one of the general managers that we spoke to earlier today.
Extremely excited. We couldn't wait for opening of Sun City Resort, especially for the palace. We can't wait for the international borders to be open, because most of the market at the palace comes from international. About 45% of our market comes from international. So but we're excited, and we thank the President of Ramaphosa and his team to allowing tourism to open, the gates for tourism to open. Although at the moment it's interprovincial, but we look forward to domestic travel to come and visit us.
Ropiwa, Sun City is a massive draw for international visitors. Will domestic tourism be enough to see them through the next while until international travel is reopened?
Unfortunately not, Annalie, and a big component here is that they won't be operating at full capacity as yet. What they've highlighted to us is that they're going to be phasing in various parts of the resort as the lockdown regulations are eased. In fact, we were told that if the regulations remain as they are, we might not see any international tourists until the end of the year. So what's important to note here is that 45% of the visitors at the resort are foreign tourists. And of course, the domestic is not all that much. But they are hoping that South Africans would have had fatigue or cabin fever, as it's been called, and from Wednesday will start making their way to the resort. It's interesting that earlier today, when we were arriving at the resort, there were some families that were actually turned back at the gate. They were eager to come and enjoy themselves at the resort, but that is all going to come from Wednesday. And the team here at Sun City saying they are confident and ready to accommodate the domestic tourists that are going to be making their way from all over the country.
Ropiwa, given the financial difficulties the tourism sector has been facing, has the Sun City Group management indicated whether there's likely to be major job cuts within the group?
So actually, what was interesting was one of the general managers mentioned to us that they were more busier during the lockdown than they were before the lockdown. And this is because they were trying to get the resort ready for domestic tourists. So what's good about what's happening here is that there haven't been any job cuts. In fact, they've restructured the way in which the employees work. They've got Team A and Team B, and they work alternatively. So if one member of the team gets ill, then the Team B is brought in and vice versa. So no retrenchments at this stage. In fact, just restructuring the way that everyone works so that we can minimize the retrenchments, and in some instances actually create some jobs when we look at the innovations that are going to be happening. We were taken to the conference center earlier on, where they're going to be introducing virtual conferences, and of course that's going to need a new skill set that's never been really necessary before.
Right, thank you very much, Ropiwa Matsena, coming to us from Sun City. We're going to leave her right there to get back to her game drive.